Alrighty folks, for those of you who need a little bit of help with this question, I thought I'd post this video for you. So this is the question I asked you, rewritten obviously. Given this information that we have, how much aluminum is going to be left over? The actual question you want to answer is not how much aluminum is left over. That's going to be ultimately what we answer. But to get there, we have to ask ourselves a different question. And that is, how much aluminum do we actually need? And that is no different than asking questions like, how much copper will be produced, which we've already learned how to answer, or how much aluminum chloride will be produced. It's the same thing. It's the same process using a mole ratio to get from a mass of one substance to a mass of another one. So then, like all problems, we're going to start with what we've been given and just figure out how much aluminum is actually needed. We're going to ignore the 6 grams for now, and we're just going to figure out exactly how much we actually need. Okay, and we will figure that out by converting to moles, use the mole ratio, and then multiply by the mass like we've been doing. So here's 12 grams of CuCl2. First thing we have to do then is figure out the molecular mass of CuCl2 to convert to moles. And just by adding up the molecular masses from the periodic table, we get 134.45 grams per mole. So that's what I'm going to divide by to convert my mass of copper chloride to moles, just like that. And if you're keeping track of units, that means that grams has been canceled out now, and right now I have moles of CuCl2. And now I can use the mole ratio from the balance equation to figure out how many moles of aluminum I'm going to produce, or sorry, how many moles of aluminum I need. Because if you're talking about one reactant to a different reactant, you're talking about how much reacts with the other reactant. If you're talking about a product, well, that's how much you're going to produce. So this is how much I need. So that mole ratio is 2 to 3. And remember that if you keep track of units properly, that tells you which one goes on top. Because I want CuCl2 to cancel out here and here, which means aluminum has to go on top. So 2 aluminums for every 3 CuCl2. At this point then, all we have is, gives us moles of aluminum. We want to get mass of aluminum. So all we have left to do is multiply by the molecular mass of aluminum. And that is 63.55 grams per mole. And now moles cancel out there and there. The only unit left is grams of aluminum. So this is going to tell me how much aluminum I need. Now, okay, whoops, small error there. I accidentally put in 63.55, which is the molecular mass or atomic mass of copper. Aluminum is 26.92. I apologize for the confusion there. Anyways, that's the equation we use there. And the answer you get is 1.6 grams of aluminum needed. Okay, so now we go back here to see what we actually had. We have 6 grams. We only need 1.6, which tells us that we have 4.4 grams of aluminum in excess. And that's what the question was originally asking. So that's kind of how you solve these questions. Just figure out how much you need first, and then just subtract from what you actually have, and the difference is what's left over. So actually straightforward. I know you don't think so, but it is. Okay, so try those homework questions that I assigned, and have a great long weekend if you're listening to this on Friday, and we'll talk to you all on Monday.